In this next video, we're going to go ahead and look at some of the features that you can find in MyMathLab. So I'm going to come into Module A, and I'm going to click on the Module A Overview. And if I do this, if you come down to the bottom, you will see this link. And if you click on this link, it will take you to the MyLab Math student links. You can also access this over on the left side. If you click on Modules, you can come down to where it says MyLab Math student links, and you will see the same information. Alright, from here we're going to look at a couple different things. The first thing that I want to take you to is the e-text. So we're going to go ahead and open the e-text. The first thing that I want to show you is kind of how to navigate around. If you come over here to the bulleted list, you can go ahead and see all of the chapters, all of the sections, and you can click on them to get to that particular page. The other thing you can do is down at the bottom, you can type in a page number and press enter, or you can also use the arrows to go back and forth. So when you are looking at these pages, what you will notice is that on one side of the page you will have the problems worked out and explained for you, and then over in the margin you'll have the similar problems that you can try on your own. These are the things that you would have in your typical textbook. Now the next thing that you have is you have over somewhere in the margin you will see these little globes with arrows pointing to them. And each one of these is either going to be a video created by the publisher. Every now and then you will see an animation, which an animation, from what I've seen here, is just going to be a little bit more interactive. And then finally, the last thing that you'll see is problems like you try it on your own. So for instance, if we come over here and we click on this one, this will open a video where they will go ahead and talk you through how to solve a problem. If we go to the next page, we have you try it on your own. If we go ahead and open this, then we can go ahead and try a problem on our own. We can go ahead and type in an answer. Just like we would on the homework. And it'll tell you either that's correct or it'll tell you that's incorrect. And for some reason, every time I do this, it always kicks me out when I'm on my iPad. So let's go ahead and go back into the textbook. I'm going to go to page 16. And so those are some of the features that you will see in the reading. If you go past the reading, you will see exercises. And if you notice here, we still have those same globes that you can click on. And again, these will either be try it on your own or videos or animations. The one thing that I do want to point out is if you do need extra practice, I encourage you to come in here and try the odd problems. Just like in a typical textbook, the answers to the odd problems are in the back. And so if we come back over to our bulleted list, and if we come down to the bottom, you will see answers to selected exercises. And in here, you will see all of the problems for you will see answers to selected problems. Mostly you will see answers to the odd problems. All right, so those are some of the features that you will see in the textbook. The next thing that I want to show you is I want to go to the All Assignments. If you click on All Assignments, this will take you out of Canvas. This is another way that you can access homework and quizzes. We're going to look at the homework first. I'm going to come to homework A2, and I want to look at problem number 3. And so problem number 3, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and type in our, I wanted to point out some things. All right, so before we go into typing in our answers, a couple things that I do want to point out. If you come up here to the top right, you will see a little gear icon. And if you come here, you can access the on-screen keyboard, but I want to focus on print. If you are on a desktop computer or on a laptop computer, it doesn't matter. You can choose to print either a question or a homework assignment. I'm on an iPad, so I can't really do much to do with this, but I can go ahead and download the whole assignment. I can save it as a PDF file, or I can print it out and add it to my notebook. So the other thing I want to show you is down at the bottom. You have a couple other things to help you out in the homework. The first one you have is help me solve this. And so this is going to be a step-by-step process in order to solve the problem. It'll sit there and say which column should you start with. We go furthest to the right, we check our answer, it's good. All right, and then it says now add the digits in the rightmost column. We get 5. Now move to the tens column and add its digits. We get 7. Now move to the hundreds column, and here we are given an answer box. And so we want to input the answer there. And now it says now move to the thousands column and add the digits. And so we have solved this and we have the correct answer. Now, before you get all excited that, basically it just told you how to do it and get the correct answer, be very careful, because when you come to this next page, you're going to have to redo the problem, and it's not the same problem. It's going to give you a similar problem, and you need to solve it by yourself. Now, if you notice over here on question 3, I have an X there, which means it's wrong. But as soon as I input a correct answer, I hope that's right, then my X will turn into a check mark. All right, the other things I wanted to show you on this is at the bottom you can still access the videos. These are the same videos that are in the textbook, but just more, instead of hunting for them, they're right there. If you go to Get More Help, you can go ahead and click on the textbook, and it will take you to the textbook. The other one that you have is you have Ask My Instructor. And so here what you can do is you can say, I don't know what I did wrong. Whatever you want to do. If you want to sit there and say, I think that I should get credit for this, then you can go ahead and do that. You can argue, and what it does is, if you notice, it's going to send to my external email. Now, as I mentioned in the previous video, I prefer that you contact me via Canvas. And so all I ask is if you do send me an email through here, just send me a quick text saying sent you an email, so that I know I need to go into my external email to check it. What it does is it does allow me, it gives me a link, and I can go ahead and use that link to go to the problem rather than going into Canvas and going into the gradebook and then clicking on your name and then clicking on the assignment and then clicking on the problem and then having to go back and look at what the question was. It's all there for me. Because I will tell you, if I have to do all that other stuff, there's a good chance I'm going to get sidetracked and forget what I'm doing about halfway through. All right, the other thing I do want to point out is if we come down to question 14, notice here this one has help me solve this, and it has an animation. And then again, it has a textbook and ask my instructor. And so these are some of the features that you can access when you are doing your homework assignments. Just a quick reminder, you are only allowed 2 tries to get a problem correct. Let's see here. I'm going to try to come to something a little bit easier. Let's go back to problem 1. I think I can still do this one. All right. If I type this in, let's say 88, it says that's incorrect, and it'll try to give you hints in terms of what you should do to fix it. Keep in mind, these are most common mistakes. If you make a mistake that is out in left field, then yeah, you're kind of going to have to figure it out on your own or contact me. All right, I'm going to try 78 this time, and notice here it says that I did get the question right, and now my X has turned into a check mark. All right, those are the homework assignments. And if you do have questions, please feel free to contact me. All right, the next thing that I want to do is I want to talk to you guys about the quizzes. All right, I'm going to come into the sample quiz. Here, this tells you how many questions there are, how many attempts you have used, how many attempts there are, and then it also tells you how long you have to complete the quiz. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go start test. And the main thing I want to point out here is just some of the notations after we take the test. So if we go, what is the hundreds digit? I'm going to type in 6, and I'm going to go next. We can have multiple choice. It says the number 61617 is written in words as 61,617. All right, we want to go ahead and go, this statement is false, and I'm going to click on answer B. All right, we want to choose the correct word name for the number. And this time I'm going to go 151,104. I'm going to go ahead and add some numbers. Now, one thing I do want to point out on this is notice down here, this has show work. Now, for these problems, please remember, I do want you to send pictures of your work done on paper. If you are using a tablet and you have a stylus or a pencil and you want to do this, you may, but it is harder for me to grade because I do have to upload every single question rather than just uploading a page and looking at a page. But if you decide to use this, if you go into show your work, you want to click on the pencil and you want to draw. And because I don't have my pencil with me, it's not letting me draw. And so let's see here. Let me see if I can do this. And it's not working. If you want to use the math features, you can type on the pi. And it should go ahead and let you open a text box. As I said, this is not working for me. And this is not how I want you to submit your work. So I did type in my answer and I'm going to go next. And it says you have not shown your work. Your instructor blah blah blah. And all you have to do here is press continue. It'll let you move on to the next one. All right, I'm going to go ahead and type in 989. Same thing, I'm going to press continue. And if I come down to question 6, I'm going to type in an estimate of 40. And I'm going to type in a exact answer of 34. I'm going to press submit quiz again. I'm going to press continue. And I'm going to press submit quiz. And it'll go ahead and take me back to the summary page. All right, on this summary page, just a quick thing to note. You will see 3 basic icons. 4 basic icons. If you see a check mark, then you got it correct. If you see an X, then you got it incorrect. If you see a check mark / X, which I don't have here, then it means that you got partial credit. And if you see a yellow circle, these are problems that required you to show your work, and the instructor still needs to go in and grade them. All right, so real fast, let's go ahead and review our quiz. If you go to review your quiz, you can click on each one of these. Here, note that the X, if I click on answer B, it says you answered this, and the green star is the correct answer. Now, even on the problems that require you to show your work, you can still check your answers. And so, for instance, here, when I look at this, 96, this is a correct answer. There is no notation in the top right corner, which is an indication that something is wrong. If we go to question 5, though, this one is wrong. And if I click on the answer box, notice it says you answered 989. And the answer in the box that you see when you first open the question is the correct answer. If we go to question 6, here, 40, there is no mark in the corner, which means that this answer is correct. Whereas 35 does have a little mark in the top corner. Again, 35 is the correct answer, and if we click on it, we can see what we input, and I input 34. So this is how you can review your quizzes. And this is the first way that you can review your quizzes, but it has to be done immediately after you do the assignment. The second way that you can go ahead and review assignments is if you go into MyLab Math Gradebook. If you click on MyLab Math All Assignments again, all it will let you do is retake a quiz. It will not let you review a quiz. Whereas if you go into MyLab Math Gradebook, then it's going to pull up the assignments that you have completed. And it gives you the option to review. So for instance, here I can go review, and then I can still see all of those same questions again. Same thing with homework. I can go into review. It says, note here, if we are accessing it through the gradebook, it'll say you are reviewing your homework. Any work you do here will not change your score. So if you want to go back and improve your score, then you do need to go back into all assignments. All right, that finishes up. Oh wait, I want to show you one more thing. Let's go back to here. There are some other things that you can access. And these are going to go back to just resources. The first thing that I want to show you is the multimedia library. And so what you can do here is, instead of accessing the videos through the textbook or accessing them in the homework assignment, you can come here and you can pick the chapters. You can pick a section, And you can pick what type of things you want to look at. For instance, if you want to look at just section video lectures or videos, then you can go ahead and click on those. If you want to look at PowerPoint presentations, you can click on those. And you can come here and figure out which ones you want to look at. That's the multimedia library. The other thing that you have is you have study plan. And study plan is basically extra practice based on topics. So for instance, if we come into the study plan, again, this is not going to impact your grade. So for instance, if we come into all chapters, and I want to go to chapter 1, I want to go to long division, and from here we can go ahead and see all the different videos that they have. Identifying the location of the quotient's first digit. We can do long divisions, we can divide numbers ending in zeros, and basically what this is we're just going to go ahead and pop up with all of those extra practice problems. And so for instance, you can come in here, you can work on this as much as you want, just like the you try it problems in the textbook. All right, I think that's all I want to show you for now. As soon as I recommend that you kind of go through and play around in MyMathLab, at least the study plan, the e-text, and the multimedia library. And then after you have done that, then take the quiz just to show that you understand where everything is and to address any issues that might arise.